if the imagination is this powerful, why isn't it spoken of in a positive way? And then one day I was just reading, and let me read this to you out of Romans chapter 8, and it says in verse 24, "We are saved by hope, but hope that is seen is not hope. For what a man seeth, why doth he yet hope for it? But if we hope for that we see not, then do we with patience wait for it." And as I was reading that, it just dawned on me that, your imagination is your ability to see something with your heart that you can't see with your eyes. And here it is saying hope is the ability to see something with your heart that you can't see with your eyes. And it just made the connection that I believe that every time the Bible speaks about hope, it's actually talking about your imagination in a positive way. Hope that is seen is not hope anymore. Once it becomes into reality, once it's tangible, it's no longer in the future, it's no longer in an unseen realm, it's now seen, it's tangible. And so hope is the New Testament way of referring to your imagination. And if you accept that, which I've got a whole teaching on this, I'm not going to go into all of that detail right now, but if you accept that, here's just one scripture on this over in Hebrews, and it's talking about that God, willing more abundantly to show unto the heirs of the promise the immutability of His counsel, confirmed it by an oath, that by two immutable things in which it was impossible for God to lie, we might have a strong consolation who have fled for refuge to lay hold upon the hope set before us. And again, I'm going to use this interchangeably to set hold on that imagination, that positive goal that God paints in our heart. And the next verse says, "Which hope we have as an anchor of the soul, both sure and steadfast, and which entereth into that within the veil." And I tell you, this is so powerful. It's using hope like an anchor. And the analogy is that if you have a ship, and if a ship is just sitting there, it'll be tossed with the wind and the waves, and it'll float and it'll drift off. But you put an anchor down, and it holds that ship in that one place. And this is the way our soul is. Our soul gets tossed by all of these things that come at us and all of the negative things. And if you don't have a hope, a positive imagination where you can see what your future is going to be like, you don't let the world just melt you and pour you into its own mold, but instead you have a hope that's like an anchor, and it keeps you on course, and it keeps you from being blown off course. That's what we're talking about.